Hello, this is on YouTube. Uh, some friends have requested that I voice over my videos, so I decided to. And I guess we speak English, I would hope. And then I like the brightness settings. I'm restarting the game. This is a really good game, in my opinion. Uh, some people like it, but I know a few that bought it but haven't tried it. But I would recommend this game to everyone because it is a really good and affordable game. It was $9 last time I checked, and I think you should check it out if you get the chance. So I'm just restarting from what I have. It takes a long time. And if you hear noises in the background, it might be my dog because he likes to bark and whine a lot. Almost feels like I'll never get through this. It is taking forever. Yes, and now the dog is whining. I want you guys to see the prologue. It's called Ground Zeroes. It's a really good prologue, I would say. You know, I should get in the cinematic version of this so I can turn the lights off and watch it like I'm playing it for the first time, even though I'm not. Mr. Kojima, really good creator. Here's our protagonist, guys. His name is Big Boss. And if you play more of the games, you'll understand more of what he does and more of the stuff. Didn't it just ask me a second ago if my language was English? I'm pretty sure I said yes the first time. He's got a backstory. I'll read it to you. For us, there is no victory. Snake. There lived a man who was a legend among mercenaries, a man who put together a formidable unit of soldiers, of fortune, long before the advent of private military companies that dared to call itself a nation. A man with his nation at his back made an enemy of modern capitalist society and the world. This is his story. We're not mercenaries. We're not a foreign legion. MSF is a business. A new kind of business. Miller. Known by code names such as Snake and later Big Boss, has proven himself as an agent of U.S. Special Forces Unit Fox. But a certain incident sprouted him to part ways with the military. He is said to have roamed the world's war zones as a gun for hire. In 1974, Snake and his partner Kazuhira Miller were running a small mercenary outfit in Colombia when they were visited by a man claiming to be a professor from Costa Rica's University for Peace. According to this professor, there had been several incidents involving a mysterious armed group in Costa Rica, a country without a military of its own. The professor was accompanied by one of his students, a girl named Paz, who had been abducted and assaulted by this group. The professor and Paz hired Snake to drive the group out of Costa Rica, however Snake saw through. However, Snake saw through their deception in an instant. My name is Paz, and I will do anything to protect my namesake. The professor was actually a KGB agent, and the armed group in question, backed up by the CIA. The Cold War was no stranger to such overseas. And just like, forgive me guys, I'm terrible at reading. Between US and Soviet agents, but the CIA's motives were a mystery. Paz had escaped from one of the CIA groups facilities with a cassette tape on it, the voice of the woman known as the mother of the Special Forces, the boss, with a popular song from 1973 playing in the background. It was reasonable to conclude that the recording was made recently. Snake was stunned. The boss was supposed to be dead. What is she doing in Costa Rica? I'll do it for the girl, for Paz, Snake. The boss was Snake's mentor, and the only woman he ever loved. But 10 years prior, Snake was forced to take the boss's life. As a part of a mission, a bitter memory that still haunted him, despite realizing that she simply could not have survived. Snake was unable to turn the professor down, telling himself he was interviewing a defenseless country, as well as to honor the value of Paz's name, peace. Snake departed from Costa Rica. Once he ran into a unit of Sandinista National Liberation Front that had fled Nicaragua after rising up the pro-American Somoza region. These rebels had become targets for the CIA group, who killed their commanders and left the unit in shambles. Everyone treats me like a child. I couldn't stand it anymore. Chico. Snake rescued the Sandinistas and invited them back to Mother Base, the new offshore base of operations provided to them by the KGB. The fallen Commandante children, Amanda and Chico, saw something of their hero, Chihuahua, in Snake, and grew to idolize him. This triggered a rapid expansion of Snake's forces. However, he was still no closer to discovering the CIA's what they were really up to in Costa Rica. I believe in peace through nuclear deterrence. Huey. Snake then encountered Huey, a wheelchair-bound scientist being forced to work for the CIA. Huey revealed the CIA's terrifying plot. They were developing a system by which the following radar detection of an enemy nuclear launch, an AI, would analyze all available data and automatically execute a retaliatory nuclear strike at appropriate targets. All they're designed to automatically execute, increase the power of a nuclear deterrent. Coldman. The CIA's Central American Station Chief planned to actually launch a nuke to demonstrate the effectiveness of automated retaliation. This demonstration was only 5 days away. Snake rushed to the development lab to stop the AI from being completed. You've left everything behind, your country, your identity, your past, and your ideals, but there's still one thing you haven't let go of, Miller. Upon infiltrating the lab, Snake was greeted by a voice from the tape, the same voice of his lost mentor. But this was in fact the voice of the retaliatory system AI. Its developer, Dr. Strangelove, had selected the boss, the so-called greatest soldier who ever lived, as the AI integrally modeled. However, scumbling to personal obsession, Strangelove had deviated from the research's original purpose. Not only had she reduced the boss's voice, she was on the verge of bringing her psyche back in AI form, driven by bizarre kind of love. What if the boss could truly be revived? In every detail, if only from AI form. Snake hesitated as Strangelove's idea touched his sense of loss. His guard down, Snake was immediately captured. The boss AI was completed, and Peace Walker, the nuclear-equipped walking battle tank housing the retaliatory AI system, went active. I was made to fight. I am a gun. Snake. Snake fought in vain against Peace Walker, prepared to fire the nuke, but the face of the catastrophe was ultimately a machine that saved mankind from nuclear annihilation. The boss AI sank Peace Walker to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua, stopping the launch. With the crisis behind him, Snake took advantage of his recent mobilization continues Mother Base expansion indefinitely. Snake understood that the AI had acted to save the world, but did not change the fact that the system based on the boss's mind had chosen at last to lay down its weapon as a weapon himself. Snake felt the act to be a rejection of his life. Underrated Snake and Miller invited Dr. Huey and Strangelove to Mother Base. Developed Metal Gear Zeke and bipedal weapons. They eventually equipped it with a nuclear warhead, suddenly making their unit of nuclear power. This place will no longer be my heaven. Pause. Meanwhile, Mother Base took Pause, already an orphan, but now left without even her KGB benefactor. Following the end of the crisis, however, this was all engineered by an intelligence agency known as Cypher. Under Cypher's orders, Paz got close to Amanda, Chico, and the others, while exploring more and more of the base, secretly plotting to hijack Z. Her objective was to use the weapon as a bargaining chip, to force Snake into becoming the military arm for Cypher. Paz's attempt failed as Snake defeated Zeke, and she was thrown beneath the waters of the Caribbean. It was only then that Snake learned Chico had fallen in love with her. A diary she kept while on base was discovered several days later. It revealed a young girl torn between serving Cypher and following her heart. This is Chico. Cypher's holding me on the U.S. military base in Cuba. Perhaps due to Paz revealing the existence of Snake's nukes to Cypher, the International Atomic Energy Agency contracted Mother Base to request that it agree to a nuclear inspection. Word got out that Snake's unit had a nuclear weapon. It would face severe criticism from around the world, but Huey, acting on his own, informed the IAEA that Mother Base would allow the inspector. His reasoning was that as long as they kept Zeke and the nuke hidden from the inspectors, they could demonstrate to the international community that they were not a threat. The option to call off the inspection having expired, Snake and his men reluctantly got prepared underway. Meanwhile, Amanda, deployed to Cuba to assist the Sandinistas, learned that Paz had survived. The timing could not have been any worse. Suspecting her of turning her back on the organization, Cypher had captured Paz and was interrogating her at the U.S. military base on the southern tip of Cuba. Chico learned of this and set out to save Paz by himself. It was not long before a radio message from Chico reached Mother Base, saying he had been captured. I know it hurts right now, but it will all be over soon. Paz. With an idea to Cypher's true identity, Snake could not allow what Chico and Paz knew to fall into their hands. Furthermore, if he could rescue Paz, he might be able to get information from her that would help him fight back against Cypher. On the eve of nuclear inspection, Snake made the decision to leave for Cuba. And that's it for part 1, guys. I'm gonna post part 2 tonight, because I'm going to finish the beginning of the game so we get a basis of what it's all about. What I did there is gave you the whole backstory. I'll talk to y'all a little later.